Dear faithful, once again we have the opportunity to be together through a reflection. Today's reflection is taken from the first letter of Peter, where he talks about an enemy, and he calls that enemy the devil. But I want to take and talk about today's enemy. But first, let me read the passage. He says, "Discipline yourselves, keep alert. Like a roaring lion, your enemy, the devil, prowls around, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, steadfast in your faith, for you know that your brothers and sisters from all the world are undergoing the same suffering. And after you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, support, strengthen, and establish you." Here we can see, dear brothers and sisters, that the Apostle Peter talks about the enemy that he calls the devil. But surely it also can be another enemy who tries to affect in our lives in many, many ways, just like the coronavirus does. But Apostle Peter, just like all the governments try to tell to their people, says, "Discipline yourselves, wash your hands, keep your distance, stay home, make a discipline of yourselves, be careful." But also, the apostle says, "Stand firm in your faith." In many other situations that we have in our lives, when the enemy comes like a lion, roaring, tries to attack us, the only thing that we can have is not losing our faith. The only thing that we have is stand firm on our faith. And the Apostle Paul says the same. Apostle Peter says the same. To stand firm in our faith. Because yes, there may be enemies in our lives. And they can go around roaring like a lion, try to attack on us. Just like this virus affecting on our lives. But the only thing that we can have is to stand firm on our faith. And he continues and says, "You know that all your brothers and sisters in the world having the same suffering." And he says, "Resist him, steadfast in your faith, for you know that your brothers and sisters in the world are undergoing the same kind of suffering. And after you have suffered for a little while, the God will himself restore, support, strengthen, and establish you." We can see the hope. We can see the future. We can see the way how can we win this battle. How can we go around this enemy that all our brothers and sisters having the same suffering, the same problem, the same enemy. God who loves us, who gave his Son for us, according to Apostle Peter, will himself restore us, support us, strengthen us, and establish us. And of course, after we have suffered for a little while, God will help us in this way. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, when we are in a panic, when we are worried, when we think about this enemy, this virus, Apostle Peter also, although talking about the devil, talks about an enemy as well, who can be the coronavirus. And to win it is to be careful, to discipline ourselves, to stand firm in our faith. And because we suffer a little while, God Himself will restore us, will strengthen us, will cure us, will be with us, and fight with us. And that is the faith that Apostle Peter tries to share with us. Again, although with a different kind of enemy, but it talks about an enemy who attacks us. And today, this virus attacks us in many, many ways of our lives, affecting our spiritual, our physical, our social lives. And that enemy can be conquered by discipline, by faith, and also by hope that God, who gave Himself for us, will restore, will strengthen, and will cure us and give us the hope that we all are looking for. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, do not give up. Pray and be strong, because there is no kind of enemy who can win against God if you have your faith, if you believe in Him, and if you invite Him to fight with you. Therefore, let's discipline ourselves. Let's stand firm in our faith, and let's invite God into our lives so He can fight with us and conquer the enemy who is trying to affect on many, many phases of our lives.